give it to all interested parties after that.
Yes, this is uh, a big scope of work that you have to do, sir, concerning about this midterm elections. Every election is such a big task for the COMELEC, especially now that the upcoming midterm elections is somehow being expected to be well organized and to have the fair elections, but the mandate and the directives of the president to COMELEC.
Well, the president was very clear when he instructed the chairman that the election should be conducted in a transparent manner. It should be accurate. There should be no room for errors. And making sure that all the participants, all the interested parties, include the candidates and the public, will be satisfied with the way we conduct the elections.
Right. So, at this moment, sir, we know that we have actually had forged an agreement with Miro Systems, and this is actually after Smartmatic was actually dismissed. Now we do have a new agreement with Miro Systems. So, how are we confident that this system can actually give us the fair elections for the midterm?
Let me give you the perspective,
Yes.
how it happened that
Yes.
Miru came into being as our provider. When the Commission on Elections decided to not to renew, not to be a partner again with Smartmatic, and eventually disqualified Smartmatic from participating in the bidding.
Yes, sir. But before you go through with that, sir, what were the problems that we encountered with Smartmatic that we did not want to continue with our partnership with them?
Well, there were so many.
Maybe we can talk about the issues and the
issues like during the canvassing at that time. When you if you remember it, during the canvassing, in the national canvassing, there was a glitch.
Yeah.
First, the glitch yung enye, then the second when the whole system broke down, and immediately after it took them a while to restart, no,
and to restore
the data, and it gives a bad impression.
Yes.
Yeah, people were thinking that. Again, the COMELEC together with Smartmatic is doing something, making sure
Hocus
that
pocus.
and making sure that their preferred candidates win the election. So
and then there was everybody was thinking that this was like a time frame for the cheating to come.
Yes, and during that time, it was only the COMELEC that faced the public and took the blame for it.
Yeah.
The provider
So you somehow
shied away from
Yeah.
explaining to the public what happened. So now the chairman was so frustrated of that scenario.
And disappointed all at the same
disappointed.
time. Yeah.
So sabi ni chair, we should find another provider. And it so happened that this Miru is a new player in the world of elections. So and they were the only bidder for the during our bidding process. So it was Miru who got the nod from the NBank, the Commission NBank.
And so, how confident are we, sir, that they can really perform?
Well, they have the track
I know that there's
record.
specific requirements that they have to pass,
Yes.
because it's not just about them being the bidder, but we also have to consider that we have to know the capacity that they can. That there are really no doubts that we can throw to them that they can really perform from our expectation on our end.
Aside from the fact that they have complied with all the requirements in the automation law. They also have the track record to speak. So they have been conducting elections in other countries, no, outside the Philippines.
This is Korean made.
This is a Korean made.
Okay.
This is a Korean manufacturer. Ang nakaganda dito, they are the provider, end-to-end provider.
I see.
No, unlike Smartmatic, na they only have they call the soft the hardware came from other sources. Then the software, they have the sources, the software. So itong Miru, they have everything from end to end. They can provide the technical capabilities, all the electronics and everything, the printers. They have that in their factory. So nakita ni Chair na it is advantageous to have this provider since they have everything end to end.
Does there have a code still, sir, that we know that the election board can only press on the codes?
Yes, that's very basic. That all the data are encrypted. The codes. It is only the COMELEC that can access the codes and all of that. So and I think in the next few months they will be showcasing the capability and the how the machine will work, and they have promised the COMELEC that they will be with us, together with us, partnering with the COMELEC to go around the country, no, from every municipality to demonstrate to the public the capability.
Have you seen this machine, sir, by
Yes,
yourself?
we saw the machine.
And you've tested it yourself?
No, they were just
Demonstrating it.
Demonstrating it, but we will have a public demonstration
I
later.
see.
No,
And we're very excited about this because I know that the first hand, the media will be able to really see it, on the capacity wherein we could really test it, we could really see, and you can demonstrate it. And in fact, we could actually just have, these, how do you call this? An initial voting, so that we will know how would it come up, so that we will be able to understand how this machine works.
yes. In fact, I volunteered our region during the time when we were talking about the initial stage of having mock elections.
Okay.
No? So I volunteered Cagayan de Oro for this. I hope that they will consider having a mock election in Cagayan de Oro, so we can
Test
see
it.
for ourselves.
Yes.
No, for ourselves that how the machine works.
Yes. So we would like that, sir, because as well as we wanted to learn about the machine, we also wanted to have the guarantee that the COMELEC can be able to really perform a very fair election for the midterm.
That's part of the mandate of the COMELEC, making sure that all the people, all the interested parties were aware of how the machine will work, and we're trying to make sure that the machines will be accepted by the public as they have accepted the Smartmatic machines
As
before.
well. So what does the COMELEC stand for, sir? Because, we need to know. Where do you stand in terms of your mandate, your directives, and your mission and vision? Where does COMELEC stand for?
Well, the Commission on Elections is always the side of the people. We want that the people will benefit from the technology that we have right now. We want that the elections will be clean, the elections will be fair, and the elections will be efficient. No? Para madali. No? Because the longer the election, wala pang mapoproclaim ng mga kandidato, then that time that gap will give a bad impression, and
Right.
and people will speculate,
And doubt.
start speculating and doubt of the results of the elections. So yan, that's first and foremost the objective of the COMELEC, making sure that the public will have a very good experience in using the current technology that we have, making sure that the elections will be fair and all of that.
Okay. So, sir, if like if we're gonna use this Miro, sir, how fast is the result? Because we wanted to know how fast it is. Would it take about a day, or how many hours does it take to get the results in by precinct, or in by the entire?
Well-
let's just say for one barangay that has about, let's say about 70 precincts. So how fast can we get the result?
Well, siguro maybe after the closing of the polls, we can get the results. No?
Like for example, it only will be the election will last about 8 p.m. Is that right, sir?
There's
It
supposed
will
to be
close- it will
regular
close at 8.
the regular time frame
Uh-huh.
for the election is 7 to 5.
Oh,
7 to
so
5.
5 o'clock.
So 5 o'clock.
So
after
5 o'clock, they counting.
uh,
But we cannot just, because there are still, in line, and then we cannot just say no to them. If there are still more wanted to vote,
Yes, yes.
And then we have to prolong it. We have to extend it by the time.
Yes, we still follow the same procedures
Yes.
as we did in previous elections. That if there are people lining up after 5 o'clock,
We have to finish.
We have to finish and give them the chance to vote.
Of course, everybody
No,
has the right to vote, and
it
we
is-
have to give
it is
that to them.
It is their right to vote.
Yes, and we have to give that to
We
the
cannot
people.
deny them the
True.
right to vote.
Right. So, sir, my question to you: at the BSKE elections, there were a lot of controversies, and there were a lot of complaints that they were supposedly asking help for filed complaint against some candidates who were actually campaigning as early, and we know that this is a violation. And then they said that there were really no help from the COMELEC, that when it happened, it wasn't addressed, and there were no disqualified candidates still, because you still have to pass it to the national COMELEC, and then the COMELEC has to decide and bring down the judgment. But nevertheless, nag-umpisa na lang ang election, sir. Tapos natapos na lang election. There was really no one that was really dismissed. There were a lot of complaints then that were filed, but it was not addressed. So,
Yes, that's for a voter. That is very frustrating.
yes.
We encourage them to file cases. We encourage them to file the complaints against erring candidates, and they were expecting that maaksyonan kaagad yung problema.
Yes.
Sa nakita nila ng mga issues. But then we have to remember that filing a case and prosecuting the case is a two different matter. We have so many cases filed before the regular courts for prosecution. But then we have to also to understand that in those cases, in prosecuting those cases, we have to abide by the calendar of the courts, no? So
And under their proceedings.
under their procedures. So hindi maano ng komisyon yung sinasabi natin na kailangan nating ma-prosecute kaagad at ma-filean ng kaso at ma-disqualify. Well, we cannot do that. We cannot shorten the procedure. There are procedures to be followed, and it's a very taxing procedure. I should say that for ordinary people, hindi nila maintindihan, no? Hindi nila maintindihan kasi it will take a long time
Yes,
to
but it's
prosecute.
that gives them a lot of disappointments
Yes.
and
I know.
frustration, because they were, before the campaigns period, sir, the COMELEC actually have gathered all of these candidates and then giving them the assurance that we will do something about it. We will try to help you, because there are evidence presented, sir. There
Yes.
are evidence presented, and then it's just so frustrating that after of which that it was submitted to the COMELEC, then passed to the regional, and then passed to the head office over here at COMELEC in Manila. Still, there was really no action, sir, and
Yes,
they waited for
no,
quite
no,
some time.
Let me clarify it. People have filed their complaints before the office of the regional office, before the Commission on Elections in central office. Then all of that, the law department reviewed the complaints. Then after reviewing the complaints, they downloaded the complaints if the complaints are meritorious.
Yes.
Instructing us, directing the regional office, directing our provincial election supervisors to conduct preliminary investigation. After the preliminary investigation, then we will return it back. The cases will be returned back to the law department for their final say. So it will be
Wow,
the en
that's a
bank.
long time.
It will be the en bank now
Yeah.
who will decide whether to file the case, file the proper information before the regular courts or not. So once they say that these cases should be filed before the regular courts, then an information will be downloaded again to us for us to file the cases and to prosecute the cases.
Yeah, the procedures of
So
this
it's very
very lengthy.
As I have said, it's very lengthy. It takes time for us to finish. No, it's frustrating for COMELEC. It's frustrating for the public. But then we have no choice. We're just enforcers of
the law.
of the law. So ganun talaga. Wala
Even
wala
even
kaming-
in the vote buying, complaints, there were envelopes that were actually sent to the COMELEC. Therefore, that there was really a vote buying, but the chairman of how do you call this in the COMELEC in that particular area was assuring all of the candidates that if somebody was caught, having this vote buying, but it still exists in the country, sir. There's
Yes.
really no way that a candidate can win without buying a vote.
Yes, it's very it's very frustrating for the COMELEC. We can hear, people give us information that this candidate so and so has been giving money and all of that, but we have no choice. We cannot do mahirap unahan namin yung a case has to be filed. And evidence has to be
the
gathered.
police were supposed to be a partner of the COMELEC at that time.
Yeah.
And their hands are still tied.
Yes, when we asked the police that to go to this area to check the validity of this information, when they go there, they would say, negative, sir, wala. So, paano kami? Ang ano namin, we need the people to be with us on this campaign. Hindi lang to ngayon lang, no?
It's been a practice for the longest time,
Yes.
since time immemorial.
So I think the people, again, it should be a concerted effort of the people and the COMELEC together with other agencies of the government if we will really want to curb or we really want to stop this vote buying.
Right. So it's just so frustrating, sir, that from time to time, time and time again, every election, it's still very rampant. And we know that it's a fact that votes are being bought and there's no position that is free. And every time you want to run for a position, you need to have a tantamount amount of funds in order for you to enter into a position. Pero that's so frustrating that's still happening here in our country. So, sir, let's talk about the COMELEC rules of procedure, because this procedures governs pleadings, practice, and procedure before the Commission on Election in the Philippines. And can you discuss more about the title and applicability? These rules known as the COMELEC rules of procedure, construction and suspension, and there's just so many. In terms of your capacity, sir, there's just so many tasks that you need to perform under the COMELEC rules of procedure, and the powers of commission, which the commission exercises express, implied, and inherent powers in its administrative, quasi-judicial, and judicial functions. So this is really a wide scope. We wanted to address this, sir. Maybe if you can explain it in layman's term, no, sir. What are the COMELEC rules of procedure? We wanted to understand this so that people will also understand what is really, what we needed to do in terms of these rules.
Well, these rules and procedure are just like the rules and procedure in the normal courts.
Okay.
So let's how you behave,
Okay.
how you act before the commission and bank when you
Okay.
file cases.
Okay.
So they are governed by the rules of procedure.
Okay.
Okay. So for us ordinary people,
yeah.
no, we don't have to be bothered by these rules of procedure. What we want are resolutions from the Commission on Elections
Okay.
that are doable,
Oh,
that can eradicate malpractices
yes.
during campaign.
Yes.
We want that the commission should address the issue on vote buying in the locality. These are the things that we need the people's help. The rules of procedure are there for the practice of before the commission and bank or before the commission. So ang sa atin, we want rules and procedure that will govern how people should vote, how people should participate, should act in an election, and how candidates should behave in an elections. Those are
Right.
the rules and regulations. Yun ang pinaka-importante.
So there in BSKE there was a lot of amended rules, and then I was very happy about it because there were rules that you're not supposed to invite people in your house if you're a candidate, and that you're also not allowed to give away even a single anything, even ball pens, even T-shirts, ball caps. We're not allowed for this to be given away during the time in the campaign period times. So you're only allowed to have the campaign, during the campaign period, and I was just happy that these rules were being made, because if it were not amended, then it's still going to be the same thing. People are going to go to the candidate's house. They're still going to do the same thing as before. So I think I understand that the proceedings, and the laws under the common rules of engagement are being changed, because some of the rules and laws of before in the history are not applicable of today. So do you agree, sir, that some rules should be amended in order for us to accept it in the recent times now,
Yes,
as we move along?
there are certain rules that are written in our election laws that should be amended,
Yes.
should be updated. Like for example, the expenses for
Yes.
candidates.
Yes.
Uh,
You're only allowed 5 pesos.
5 pesos or 3 pesos.
3 pesos.
So it's no longer realistic.
Yeah.
But then we have no choice. There is no new law provided by Congress. We have been asking Congress for this to change the law to make it a higher amount, no, for every candidate to spend. But then walang nagawa ang Kongreso. So we stick by the rules that 3 pesos or 5 pesos in case you are
A candidate.
candidate. Yan ang problema. Candidates will lie, will cheat during the filing of their SOSE, yung expenditures, because they have to file within the limits that the commission prescribed.
Yeah.
The 3 pesos.
And
it's unrealistic.
Unrealistic. And aside there's a lot of deceptions on it, because
Yes.
you would really clearly know that that's a lie. Come on.
Yes. So that's why we have been advocating to change the law. Unfortunately,
Again.
wala pang nagawang batas for that. So we stick with the rules. There are so many laws that needs to be updated. There are also laws that are no longer applicable.
Who petitions this, sir? Is the chairman actually?
We are asked, the
Yeah.
Commission on Elections is asked kung ano yung mga batas gusto niyang baguhin.
Right.
So we submit our proposals to Congress, to Senate, and we defend that. Unfortunately, they find it not necessary at this point. It's not the priority. So they forgot.
They set it aside again.
So every time there's a new Congress, there's a new Senate, we file it again. Then wala pa rin nangyari.
This is just so frustrating.
Yes.
You know, just
So,
understanding this, how does this...
Ang nangyari, everything kasalanan ng komisyon. Kasalanan ng COMELEC. And hindi kasalanan ng Kongreso. Hindi kasalanan ng Senado. They are supposed, we only follow kung what is, we only enforce the law that created by Congress.
And somehow, I feel and I understand that you are very much bounded by these laws, that you're not able to exercise any of which that is supposedly to be done, but your hands are tied.
Yes, that's
and
very
your,
correct.
and your and even your expression of the truth is being limited because you are bound by this laws.
Yeah.
And it frustrates the people, sir. It frustrates the people because we rely on the COMELEC to really, give a recommendation.
Supposed to be the COMELEC is an independent body.
Yes.
No? It's the last bulwark of democracy.
If you're given the unanimous, the decision making, because you are in an independent body, but then you are still bound by these laws that you supposedly you could act somehow. Things when we're in the laws, which has to be revised, should have been recommended and should have been changed. The COMELEC could have done that a long time ago.
Siguro meron ng pagbabago kung nagawa natin yung mga batas.
Yes.
Napalabas natin yung mga gusto nating magawa na batas. Unfortunately, walang nagawa. Walang na ipalabas. Kung meron man, isa-isa. Ang gusto kasi ng commission is to have the entire Omnibus Election Code and other laws relating to elections in one code. Isa na lang. Para yun na. Hindi yung nagkaiba-iba yung mga batas. So, yun. Nag-submit na ang commission ng proposals. Hanggang ngayon, wala pang nagawa.
There's no response.
I hope in the near future this could be done. And that will make life for the COMELEC officials better, no? And for the people, so we can really serve the public.
There should be an own-in bank, sir, with the COMELEC abiding this, reviewing, and amending and understanding the laws. Because if you have an independent body or a somehow like an organization or a legal organization wherein it can review by itself, what are the rules that has to be amended and has to be recommended to be changed. So siguro, sir, ang dami na na-change ng mga laws regarding this.
Yes, kung ganun lang ang setup
That
natin.
as easy as that.
As easy as that. But then again, you have to remember that it's only Congress that can enact
Change.
laws. So
Exactly.
it can enact laws. So wala tayong magawa, no? Magantay tayo kung ano yung maipasa ng Kongreso. We can propose laws, amendments of our existing laws, but then again, it's really up to Congress to
Right.
pass the law.
Yeah, that's true. So, sir, now that the next year is going to be the midterm elections, what are your recommendations, sir? Supposedly, we're talking about these amendments. So far in the region, you've seen a lot of issues already here, and I know that you have looked out, like what are the problems that we've encountered so far, and then I know that you have a lot of things in mind that you wanted this laws change. So what are these things that you've encountered in the issues, sir, that you wanted the Congress to approve?
Well, I leave that to the Commission and Bank. I don't want to encroach on their functions of the bank.
I respect that, but in general, sir, in general.
Ang ano lang natin dito, at least kung pwede nating ma-change yung mindset ng mga politiko, no? To change
In
their
what way,
mindset
sir? In what way?
in making sure that they follow the rules and regulations of the COMELEC.
And they're not afraid anymore, sir.
They are not afraid because they saw maybe they find it the futility for
Yeah.
the COMELEC to prosecute them.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you this. There's one candidate in Misamis Occidental that we have prosecuted and was found guilty.
Can you talk about this, sir? I wanted to know.
It's
You don't have to know the name.
It's
you
about
don't have to,
it's about misrepresentation.
Okay, so can you explain more about that, sir?
yeah.
That's very interesting.
The guy ran in the SK barangay and SK elections.
Okay.
He
When was this? Last BSK last year?
BSK.
Okay.
He was already more than 24 years old
Okay.
when he filed the certificates of candidacy.
Okay.
Then someone filed a complaint against him
Concerning.
for because he's overage and for misrepresentation and an election offense, perjury. So we, the Commission on Elections, filed a case against him. Then we won. We won in the MTC and we won in the RTC. So now he's convicted.
Okay.
So, kung meron lang, yan ang sinasabi namin. If people are so frustrated that the Commission on Elections have done nothing about these anomalies, about these issues regarding candidates, we have tried our best.
You're doing the best that you can.
The best that we can. We have prosecuted. Kung merong mga ipadala sa amin nga for prosecution, we have faithfully prosecuted the cases. And now we can honestly say na we convicted one candidate. Hindi to malaking bagay, but then it will
At least everybody would think that you're doing your job.
it would
Entail.
It would give them sort of ang commission pala nagtatrabaho pala, mayroon
The
pala
government
silang,
is at
the
work.
government is working and meron palang na-prosecute at baka tayo susunod, no?
Because
Parang-
you know what, sir, this is what we're trying to give an impression here, that the law has its bite. You know, kung wala manggoy, if the law does not have a teeth and it cannot bite, then people will not respect
Yes.
the law itself.
People will violate with impunity. Parang
And there are
naman-
so many people who violate.
alam naman nila
Yeah.
na wala namang mangyayari.
That's
So
true.
now we are starting to enforce.
Sir, I'm encouraging you, sir, to do that.
Yes.
You know, I'm really trying to root for you that the commission election would have more enforcement in trying to implement these laws, because, you know, somehow people are just so frustrated every time they tell me that
But then-
wala namang ginagawa ang COMELEC.
People-
Hindi naman sila they're not prosecuting people.
Look.
That's what they're trying to tell me.
People are so frustrated, but then they vote the same people.
The same people.
They want
yeah,
they
true.
want these people to be prosecuted, these candidates to be prosecuted,
and the same-
yet they accept money from these candidates.
Yes, true. Siguro, sir, you know, to be honest with you, kidding aside, ever since when I became, you know, a voter since I was 18 and until at this point, I'm already 49 and I'll be 50, I've never had received any money from any
That's
candidate.
good. That's good.
Because you know why? Because they know I'm in the media. They're not, they don't want to give me, because, you know, I probably would know and I would probably have the evidence of them, you know, trying. But even if they will give me or give me not, it is within my pure conscience that, you know, I don't want to be dictated on my pure conscience and who I wanted to vote for. I mean, people should not influence you, but the thing is, people need money more than their conscience. You know, they voted for these people who are giving them money instead of, you know, voting for the right person. That's just so
That's-
ridiculous.
Yeah. Then
But that's a practice. It's already a practice.
They expect good governance.
Ah.
They expect that the COMELEC will prosecute
How
them.
would you expect a good governance? Are you already been bought?
Yes.
Okay, this person already bought you, have given you money, so you really have no reason to complain.
That's why aside from policing the candidates, we are now concentrating more on voters education sa mga youth. No, we have been traveling around the universities here in Cagayan de Oro and other areas of Region 10, and giving voters education.
That's good.
We want to start the youth.
Vote by conscience.
With conscience and all of that. So we are trying to do that, and I hope that in the next few years, makikita na natin yung the results, the fruits of our labor. No?
True.
Uh,
And we can only hope, sir, that
Yes.
with this new breed, this X generation, they say, would be able to really understand, that you have to vote for the right person, who has this capacity really and the capability to lead, not just because of the money matters that's involved in this elections
that's true.
upcoming. Yeah.
That's true.
So this has been a good road for the Commission on Elections now, sir, that you've been trying to have a different view, convincing all of these young people. What are other programs you are trying to stress out, sir? And
We're also
you're doing?
trying to reach out to the IPs, the PWDs. And
how about if they're not able to vote, sir, because they're illiterate?
That's why we
How
have
do
to
we
go.
empower them?
That's why we have to register them. That's why we have to go to them, go to their communities, and register them.
If they don't vote, they can use their thumb
Yes,
mark,
yes.
right?
Voting is so easy now,
Right.
because it's automated. It's just shading. No, they don't have to write the names of the candidates. So,
But they have to read the name of the...
they have to know the candidates they're voting for. So yan, IPs and all of that, PWDs and senior citizens. So we're trying to make this election, the electoral process, inclusive, meaning everybody, not only
Right.
those in the urban areas.
PWDs as well. Senior citizens.
Those persons deprived of liberties.
Yes.
PDLs. So, ganon na ang thrust ng komisyon. Hindi na yung traditional na kung darating.
So we're trying to reach out to this sector, sir.
Yes.
Even
That's
the vulnerable sectors.
the vulnerable sector. So, every Saturday, our people are outside of their offices in satellite registrations.
Empowering the people.
Empowering the people. And aside from the satellite registration, they conduct also voters education.
I see.
So, little by little, makikita siguro natin yung pagbabago. But I cannot say outright din na merong pagbabago in 2025. No.
At
Parang
least little steps, but we're going to get there, hopefully.
That's suntok buwan sa buwan.
Yeah.
No?
But hopefully, sir, with all of these efforts and what you're doing now, it's just a positive thing. We just have to look at the brighter side. At least that in the near future, we'll be able to see the results,
Yes,
the
yes.
efforts that you've done so far.
Kasi if we stop doing our job, if we stop encouraging people from making good decisions, we are, nag-surrender na tayo.
We lose our perspective too.
Yes.
So that's one of the best things that we see now, and we're trying to encourage people that somehow COMELEC goes down to the lowest level of how people perceive you, because they somehow felt that this sector or this organization, as independent as it is, they don't see how the effort is being done. But at least now we're trying to give way, so you could sit down and give us the updates, that
Yes.
letting people understand that you are doing, the government is working for the people as well.
And we're glad that we are in partnership with the media,
Yes, sir.
radio stations, TV stations, and all of this, para maiabot natin sa mga
See,
tao.
information is very
Yeah,
important,
it's
sir.
very
The
important.
information drive.
Kasi pag hindi nila makikita, hindi nila
Ririnig.
ma-feel.
Even if they
Hindi
don't-
nila parang sabihin nila na walang
Walang
conduct,
action.
walang
There's
action.
really nothing going on.
Oh.
At least they know now that you're doing something about it.
Yes.
And that is our true mandate to the society as a responsible broadcast. That we will be able to reach out to a lot of people, understanding the matter of what the government is doing now. And we should be able to reach out to those that are unreachable, even of those places that we cannot reach. But if our radio stations can be reached through these areas, no matter how far, they will be able to understand and know
Yeah,
that
it's true.
there's the government that we can depend on.
And we would like the media also to help the COMELEC.
Yes.
Like in the voters education.
Information, yes,
Voters
and education, yeah,
education.
true.
That is very important. Para naman malaman ng mga tao.
Yeah.
Because through your medium, malaman ng mga tao kung ano pa talaga ang kahalagahan ng pagboto.
True.
Kahalagahan
And the
ng
right to
and the
vote.
right to vote. So,
that's true.
it is really important. Kasi kung
Exercise your
kung
vote.
kami lang, limited lang yung reach namin.
That's right.
No? Kayo, you have the resources.
Sir, you are always open here. That's why I invited you. And in fact, this is not going to be the last time, but this is just the beginning of our partnership, that you will be able to come over here if in case you wanted to have an announcement or either way. By the time that before the filing of the candidates, I would like to invite you again
Yes,
once
yes.
more. Or anytime, sir, just give us a call.
Yes.
And let us
Thank
know
you.
that you're interested, because we don't want to fight the government anymore, sir. We should be the ally of the government. Kasi pag kinokontra mo na, sir, you're not helping it. Just help them perform their mandate. And I think
That's true.
that's our job and our for us as a broadcaster, our accountability, to the public and inform the public as well. So, sir, we've got about 4 minutes to go before we hit the hour of 11 o'clock. So, do you have any reminders, sir, to our voters and to all our candidates before we end the show?
Yes, thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Yes, sir. Our pleasure.
To reach out to the public, to our voters now. I hope that you have listened and you learned something
Yes.
out of this discussion.
True.
And during in time for the election, and you
True.
will vote wisely. No, we still have our registration until
It's ongoing, sir, right?
it's ongoing until September 30. So for those who have not yet registered,
Or the new voters.
the new voters, please register now, as early as now. Don't wait for the last day, and exercise your right of suffrage.
Because that's the ultimate,
Yes,
the
that's
ultimate power, the right of, the right to vote and the right of the suffrage, as well as giving the people to empower you to really vote wisely,
Given by the Constitution.
given
to
by
us.
the Constitution. That is free. That is free, and it's power all at the same time. So
Yes.
thank you very much, Attorney Renato Magbutay, sir. Thank you very much for gracing this event, and thank you for coming in a very short notice, and thank you for giving this challenge a go. And I know that it was just a last minute invitation, but you still came in on time. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Regional Election Director of the COMELEC of Region 10, Attorney Renato Magbutay. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. And again, you are always welcome to come in, and anytime if you have any announcements, there is our station is actually your ally for all of those. So this has been your host for the Talk Zone. And this has been Cheryl Macali-Carriaga for the Tug Zone, saying that as what Jeff F. Kennedy had said, do not ask what the government can do for you, but always ask what you can do for the government. Have a great day to all of you, and of course, I hope you'll have a great day.
Everything in this world are changing.
Radyo Lampornas.
Subay sa giluwatan nga pamahayag.